Hey, yo, welcome to the 24th episode. Man, look, I got a treat for you guys today, man. Hey, I got two pioneers in the building, man, that do some of the most amazing exposure tournaments around the country. They has helped so many guys, man. Listen, man, I got my man Jerome Weaver in the building. What's up, Jerome?
What's
Man,
up,
appreciate you coming, man. Got my man Sean Williams in the house. Appreciate you coming, man. No doubt. Hey, man, we're going to cover a lot of good stuff today, man. Very informative. Parents, coaches, and players. Y'all listen up, man. We got a lot of really good information that we're going to share with you guys that can be helpful, right? Hey, Ron, so, man, y'all check this out, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself, man, the history, your background, bio.
Yeah. So I was born, I'm a graded baby, so I'm born and raised, in Atlanta, graded baby, straight from Decatur. Played basketball at Decatur High School. Was an All-American. Really got into basketball that way for me. It was my first passion, my first love. My first plane trip was because of basketball. Really just took into it. And that's what got me started, and so went on to play the ball in college as well. And really just been a basketball guy since the beginning. But downtown Decatur City, ATL, baby. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit about me.
In the building. Sean, give us up, man.
Man, I ain't from Decatur, but I'm from the north, man. So like I went to Buford. I played basketball at Buford and I played football at Buford. Graduated from Buford and played college football at UAB. I played at UAB and I played at Georgia Southern. Ended up graduating from Kennesaw State, so I had a long journey. But at the time, when I was around, probably in 2007, 2008, basketball was always my first love. So. That's the time social media was becoming a thing, and for me, it was big. I wanted to connect parents and players to college coaches, right? I wanted to be able to bridge the gap. So I spent a lot of time, running around, getting to know high school coaches, travel coaches. I think I started my first camp in 2010. Started doing tournaments in 2011. So I've been at it for a while. Had the opportunity to see Jerome had one of the best independent groups that came through to play on my platform, so I've known him for a while too. So
that's awesome.
Been really good.
That's awesome. So Jerome, let's jump right in, man. So with your events, right? So you got kids coming from all over the country, right? Your teams and that type thing. What is the real true purpose of you doing these tournaments? Why do you do these tournaments? Why?
Well, obviously exposure, right? So we definitely want to give exposure to players, teams, programs. Just the player that you might not know, the player you might know, and also just give the experience of basketball to the city, the state too. So we bring in a lot of players from out of the country that you might not never see. Like this year, we got Utah prospects coming in, and you might not never get to see those kids.
Right.
So you can come up there and see those kids play, and so we try to pull from a lot of different areas. So the regular basketball fan can also watch good basketball throughout the country, and also for those kids to get exposure as well as programs as well.
Absolutely. And see, that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you guys on. With everything going on in the atmosphere, the college atmosphere, with the transfer portal and all those things, I just want to try to be informative to the parents so they can know where to go, what they need to do, because now more so than ever, they need help with getting exposure. And then Sean, with you, right, you do similar to the same thing, but you do a lot of exposure events. So let's talk on that for 1 minute.
Just to touch on, what I spoke about earlier, for me, it's about bridging the gap, right? For college coaches, to college coaches and to parents and players. So for me, like the big thing was having the opportunity to place independent teams, right? The independent guys, give those guys an opportunity to play against some of the shoe teams during the live period.
Right.
Because a lot of those guys are just as good, they just don't have the same backing, right? And when I say independent guys, the best player in the country is Ace Bailey, who is an independent guy who played on both of our platforms.
See, and I'm glad you brought that up about independent and shoe companies. So can you explain, because a lot of parents don't know, and here's the misconception, right? They think that I have to play for a shoe team in order to get exposure. So just touch on that, man, like just being with a good organization, being with a good team where you're gonna be well coached, you're gonna develop, and you're gonna get a chance to get exposure. So just touch on that.
So for me, man, it's about the shoe companies obviously have their own platform. The independents don't have an own platform, so they gotta choose the right events to play in. If you don't choose the right events to play in, you won't get the exposure. For me, back when I was playing, I mean not playing, but back when I was coaching, we went to Sean Williams. We knew Sean had the platform to get us seen. We knew that was the situation then, and we didn't miss an event. We didn't miss a live period event from him. I also went to Damien a couple times, but Sean put us on a situation where we can get seen. Also, with my event, we put them out there too. We give you an opportunity to play in the show. If you're a good independent team, you can play in the show, all right? And you get to compete against those players and get the visibility. With us, it's media now, right? So things have changed. With my event, the biggest thing is media exposure.
Right.
It's so much so, my kids are in the 1st and 2nd grade, and I'm already recording them, putting them out. And the reason is because media now can drive you to get the visibility that you need to get the exposure. I'll give you an example. I came up with Junior Smith, Dennis Smith Jr. He got kicked out of the league at one point. He go to Florida, get this guy named Maul. Shout out to Maul. He recorded at the Tip-Off Classic. He go to get this guy named Maul. Maul start recording him, and teams just start calling in and say, hey, I see your videos. I see your videos. I see your videos. And got back in the league off of videos. Yep. So it's very important to get the visibility nowadays, and we probably have the #1 platform when it comes to visibility with media. And so for us, we want to give that to the independents to get that visibility. I think with Sean do a great job of bridging the gap between college coaches and teams. So I think we both do a great job in what we do. But yeah, you don't have to have a shoe deal to get that visibility, but you do have to choose the right events.
Got it. That's a good question. Yeah, touch on that too, Sean, if you don't mind.
You know, like I said, the best player in the country is Ace Bailey. Right. You know, and 2 years ago, a lot of people didn't know who he was. Right. And he hasn't played for Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour, but he still has the same accolades as a lot of the kids who are playing on those platforms. And for him, now he played with Jerome, he played with myself, and they didn't even leave Atlanta.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
You know, a lot of these parents and kids, they want to go chase behind all this stuff, and they want to go to Phoenix, and they want to go to Indianapolis, and they want to go to New York, all these places. But if you telling me the best high school player in the country didn't even leave his city, why do you think you got to do something different?
Man, y'all listen to that. Listen to that. And this has been a struggle for me, just conveying this to the parents and everybody, right? Because people think that you got to travel to Vegas and all of that. And I'm like, no, we got the best events is right here. And you ready for this? Everybody want to come to Atlanta.
Everybody wants to come to Atlanta.
Yeah, and so listen, man, we got it all right here. And that's one of the reasons why I'm playing at all of the events, right? This year, I'm playing at all of the events. I'm going to make sure I do that. And you should too. You should too if you want your kids to get exposure. Because these two guys right here, I'm telling you, in terms of getting exposure, nobody does it better in the United States of America. I know. And I've been out here for a minute. So if you want to get your kids exposed, make sure you go to the events. All right, so look, guys, so check this out, man. So let's jump in on this transfer portal thing, man. Because it's like, you know, everybody got all different types, different opinions and things of that nature. If a parent want to get their kid now some exposure to get an opportunity, because as y'all know, they're not even looking at high school players like they used to. They're going straight to the transfer portal, then they're going to go to JUCO, then guess what? Then they go to post-grad before they even get to looking at high school, unless you just one of those guys.
Right.
So if you can tell the parents, what are some of the things that they can do? We talked about the exposure, but what are some of the other things you can do? I mean, you know, the video and media, social media, how powerful that is. What are some of the other things that they can do to position their kid? If he got the goods, but you got to have first the realistic expectations, because your kid have to have that potential, because they're not just giving out $100,000 scholarship to just an average player. He got to have the goods. That's number one. So tell them, Jerome, what you think?
Here's what I tell every parent that I speak with. Be patient. Be patient, especially nowadays. Be patient. Peel back the expectations and be patient. I tell you, you got 5-6 years from the time he graduates high school to get in the right situation. 5 to 6 years. And everybody's trying to get it overnight, and it's not happening. Be patient. Listen, things have changed. The foundation has changed. It used to be where if you was a decent high school basketball player, you get a shot at it. Now, if you're a decent high school basketball player, you're not gonna get a Division I shot right away. You know what I mean? And if you really believe in yourself, then take the avenue of going to a junior college or a Division II, get you some film, and then enter the transfer portal to change at that point. You got to look at Derek White at Boston Celtics, Division II, Division III player. Derek White went from there to 1 year at Iowa. His first NBA check, he paid back his tuition because he wasn't on scholarship. It's so many stories like that now because people are transferring at a high rate, and you don't necessarily have to be a Division I player right out the gate. So I think parents have to peel back the expectation of their kids being a Division I athlete right out the gate. Be patient. Understand that it might take 5 to 6 years from the time you graduate to get in the right situation. And so understand that and work accordingly.
Absolutely. More so than ever, be patient. So touch on that for me, Sean.
You know, going off what Jerome said, patience is a big thing, right? Patience and expectations. Because a lot of these parents, they assume like, hey, you know, my kid can go play at Kennesaw State. They can go play at Georgia State, or they can go play at the HBCUs, right? But they don't understand this. You may have to go a level lower. You may have to go to North Georgia, to Clayton State, to USC Aiken, which is fine. Now, like I was talking to Jerome earlier, A.J. White, 2,000-point scorer, won the state championship at Chattahoochee. He's at North Georgia, averaging 20 points a game, shooting 48% from three. He's a sophomore. He'll have an opportunity to transfer up and play at a Division I school if he likes. But his route was different. His route was different. His parents, they understood, right? He had to go post-grad. Then from post-grad, he went to North Georgia. Now from North Georgia, if he chooses to transfer, now he can go Division I. That's the route that more people and more parents have to be open to, because the process has changed.
Got it.
College coaches want to be older, not younger. You win with old guys. You don't win with young guys.
Heard that. You see what I'm saying? Patience, patience, patience. Now, here's the thing. When I just think that D2, D3, to me, that's a version of D1, if you look at it. It's a version of D1 now because of everything that's going on. I say that's a prime example. And the transfer portal has opened the doors in such that a kid who really got the goods, right, he can go somewhere, whereas just say, because see, everybody trying to run the same lane. So everybody trying to go to Duke, everybody trying to go, and it's only so many spots. So how many minutes you gonna get? You had to wait your turn, blah, 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 blah. But if a kid want to get exposure now, bigger is not always better for you, right? Like you gotta find your lane and you gotta go to it. So you can go to a small school where you're gonna be able to go express what you do, right? Big, go average 50, right? Now you bring all the attention to you.
Now, this is another thing I want to touch on. A lot of these kids go to these SEC, ACC as a freshman, right? And they don't play. So it's like you dream of going to these schools, but it's hard for freshmen to get on the floor, right? Like you playing against guys that are 23, 24, they've been in college for some time. It's hard to get on the floor unless you're Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg, Isaiah Collier, those type of players, right? So now you're sitting at Georgia, you're not playing, right? And you could have went to Kennesaw State and played. But you choose to go high and you're not committed again to the process and you don't have the patience. So now you want to transfer after you don't play your freshman year.
Kennesaw State anyway.
Right, exactly.
Right, you know.
But that's a great point. But here's the thing: if you're not one of those dudes, right, and we know who they are, right, where God just stamped them, right. If you're not one of those dudes, most cases when you go to college, you're going for 2 years. You got 2 years really to show what you can do, because those first 2 years you're not gonna be one of those guys. Because they got all these McDonald's Americans and stuff in front of you that you got to wait to get past. And most likely you got 2 years to actually show what you really can do. And so parents, don't get caught in the hype, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and let me just say something, because I tell parents this all the time. If you show me a kid that's not Division I can go to their house and break down why they not.
Listen.
I'm gonna say that again. If you show me a kid that's not Division I can go to their house and follow them for a day and show you that why they're not Division I. PlayStation in the morning. Don't wake up and work out right away.
Listen.
Don't go home and work out. Don't eat the right foods. Spend too much time on social media. Right now, iPhone got a thing where it got screen time on it, and they're seeing your weekly screen time. I guarantee you add up the screen time plus everything else. This is why you're not Division I. Listen, it ain't by fault that these kids like Ace Bailey, who came in at 8th grade and clearly wasn't where he at now, worked his butt off to get to where he at. The Jakari Harris worked his butt off to get where he at. You know what I mean? I could go and I could itemize their whole entire life and say, this is why. If you're not working every day, especially now, because you got to stand out above the rest. If you're not working every day, you're not dribbling, you ain't doing something every day to make yourself better, you're not a Division I basketball player. Period.
That's powerful.
And that's okay, right?
Yes,
like, it's okay to go D2, NAI. The point is to go to school for free, right? But when you go to college, you can continue to get better.
Yes.
And you can have an opportunity to go Division I. It ain't like you go to college and you start working on your game, right? So I think some people, they don't get it, and it's like, okay, D2 is still a blessing. You know, you're going for free, but you can still continue to work on your game to get to where you want to be.
And man, y'all, boy, this is so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm in basketball heaven right now because I love this stuff, man. So here's the thing, though, and John, you just touched on it, man. Like, and this is the root, what you just talked about. You can tell about a kid, about his habits every day, whether he's gonna be one of those guys or not. I don't care how much talent he got. And to me, faith without work is dead, right? So if you got faith and you don't believe in it and you're not putting in the work, like that's a prime example. So kids that, you can see kids that got that, I call it that attitude, that driven attitude, right? Where they really want it. Like a lot of people want it until they figure out what they gotta do to get it. You see what I'm saying? And they don't want to make that, I want to say sacrifice, it's an investment.
It is.
It's an investment. It's an investment of time. And you know time is the only thing that we can't get back, right? And so guys who's willing to invest their time, like when you see me in the morning at the gym, I'm in the gym at 5:30 in the morning. This guy walking in there, 6:30 in the morning, working guys out. That's what I want. I want those type of guys. I help and work with kids, but the kids that really want it, they meet me at 5:30, and I do that purposely. Because I want to see where your mindset. Do you really want this? Right. Don't waste my time. You know what I mean? So having said that, man, we really gotta. And I think as a whole, I think the coaches, because I think it's a triangle. It's a triangle. It's the parents, the kids, and the players. The parents, the kids, the coaches. It's a triangle. They all have to work together.
Yeah, and I think the thing for me is clearly mostly the parents.
Yes.
Back when I came up, probably Sean, and I'm a little older than Sean, so I say probably Sean. But
what you trying to say, man?
I'm old as hell. but back when I came up, if a teacher called home or sent a deficiency home, my mama always said, that teacher ain't got nothing against you.
Right.
She got her. You got to get yours. It ain't that teacher's fault. That teacher ain't lying on you. These are the words that I had said to me. Nowadays, they'll fight the teacher. They'll go up to the school. They'll say something against the teacher, knowing that their kid is acting up even at home, so they know that they act up, and won't even take the teacher's side and get pushback on the teacher or anybody that's in any type of authority. If your kid is not playing in basketball, it's never the coach's fault. You can't bench LeBron James. You'll look like a fool. You can't bench great players. And parents got to understand, instead of focusing on the coach, focus on your kid. Get your kid better. Do everything that he need to do to where it's no different. I'll never forget, Bo, and you probably experienced this too, because you played, Sean. You probably did when you played. Your coach always didn't like you. And when he took you out the game, and then you were the best rebounder, you were the best scorer, and then time of possession go by and y'all start losing even more, he looked down at that bench and said, go in the game. You know what I mean? Like, he really don't want to lose this game.
Right.
So he going to play the better player.
Right.
And parents got to understand that it's not your coach's fault. It's your kid's fault.
Right.
And they have to focus a little more on their game. And you got to support that and develop them to a point to stop making excuses on why they're not playing. And number two, work as hard as they can.
So here's my thing, and you dead on, bro. You dead on. It's accountability.
Yeah.
It's accountability. A lot of these kids, they have a sense of security, like a, sense of entitlement, because we give them everything. It's just a different environment right now, and so unfortunate. But what happens at the end of the day, they get what we call a false sense of security of where they really are. They're not working. They're not in the gym working. Like, I got a situation right now with my grandson. He's 6'4", 6'5", 10th grade. I've been dragging him along like a backpack for about 7 years. I'm passionate about this development stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm at a point right now, man, where I'm trying to salvage my relationship with him, man. I'm trying to salvage my relationship. It's because, single mom, and guys play on that. They play on these single parents because they don't know. And so they come in and tell them and say they can do this and they can do that. But the issue is we're not giving our kids the right stuff. Even the people that's in position to help them. You see what I'm saying? Because I can't help you if I don't know how to help you if I ain't never done it before. And so that's a big issue, man. And that's why I say at some point we got to get some, if we want to make a difference as a whole. I've taken a position, like when everybody go left, I try to go right. Mm-hmm. Because I know, and I'm not saying what I'm doing is perfect, but this is my thought process through the experiences and things. I was fortunate to develop 3 of the top teams in the history of AAU basketball. In the history. Most people don't even talk about it, they don't know, maybe it's so far back or whatever. And all those guys was able to eat. And when I say eat, go to college, play professionally, 18 professional guys, 3 teams. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, throw numbers out, none of that. I'm saying because I tried to do it the right way and I never deviated. And I just think when we get our coaches, whoever coaching our kids, we need to have some type of union, a coaches union, where we share information. Guys are having to make a difference, if you're really in it to really help.
Right.
And that's what I'm on. And so what can we do better? This is what I'm saying.
I'm glad you asked
what
that.
Can we do better?
And if Sean want to do it, we'll do it together. But if Sean want to steal my idea and go do it on his own, he can do that too. but no, seriously. I think it's important. Like, we focus too much on the physical aspect of basketball or any sport, and we don't train the mind. And like, if we had a mental camp, I sign my science kids up tomorrow. Because you know how to do this. You good at doing this, but you get in the game.
Yeah, all of it go out the door.
It go out the door. You don't believe in yourself. You lack confidence. You don't know how to fight through it. You don't know what to even think about. We training all this physical stuff. But the most important thing that need to be trained is this. And if you train this will follow. This will be easy. And if we had a class that say, I am special, I'm confident, fight through certain different things, go through different mental exercises so these kids can be mentally strong. Because I'm telling you this, kids are born with a blank sheet of paper. Adults coming right on that paper, whether it's good or bad. You can't do this. You're not smart enough. You're dumb. All these suggestions, these kids are putting it on their paper. But there's nothing out there to say, hey, you can do this. You're special. All this mental strength that we need to be able to fight through thousands of people watching us. The hardest shot in the game is a free throw. And it has nothing to do with a training. It has to do with this. All these people waving this behind you. Can you calm yourself down? You got 5,000 people. You're down by 1 point. If you make both of them, the game is over. Like, you responsible for winning this championship. It's all on you.
Wow. You want to touch on that? I'm gonna tell you.
No, I mean, I mean, I think he got it. He got the bases covered, but no, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with what he's saying. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
that's for me or my son, right? Like you are special. You are a leader.
Yes.
He learned that at a young age, right?
Yes,
and
man.
people that
Yes,
been
sir.
around me, they understand that because nobody else is gonna be able to take that away from him, right? You're not gonna hurt my son's confidence because I know you can do this, right? You know what I mean? And over time, you will continue to get better if it's something that you can't do. You know what I mean? Because everybody think it's, you know. So I agree with what he's saying.
Wow, man. You know you're speaking my language right now, right? Remember in the beginning of the segment, I said you train dogs, cats, chickens, and animals. You develop people.
Right.
That's an inside job. And so my approach, and I don't know if y'all been following my stuff over the years, right? It's been that. But I've been doing it organically, right? See, with my AAU programs, we got 4 core pillars adjacent to it. We have an education enhancement program, health and wellness nutritional program, a financial initiative program. But last but not least, we partnered up with several nonprofits. Like we do blanket drives and all kinds of stuff. So we're giving them a holistic approach, right? We opening their minds. We speaking to them. We pray before we do our training. We pray after we do our training. And the way we communicate with them, we communicate in a professional manner, right? In a professional manner. And see, what you just said, see, if you can control your thoughts, you can control your actions. Therefore, you can control your destiny. And so we reaching, it's an inside job for us. I ain't said nothing about no training. We developing. And so if I can tap into you, like most of the players that I work with, they have never said, I don't care. And the hardest thing for me, one of the hardest things is being okay without people knowing your side of the story. That's been really, really hard. But I'm gonna say this to you. Everything that I have done has came from a place of realness, because I had an opportunity to coach. I had the job. I was the GM and the head coach in Canada. Walked away from it. It was a 30-30 deal. 30-30 deal. Walked away from it. You know why? Because it wasn't fulfilling. And that's why I do this. I don't do this to make money. That comes. You're going to make the resources. But if you're trying to change lives for real, without beating your chest, you know what I mean? Like, and these kids need us. And so we have to do something. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that is a huge part. This mental illness is real.
Right.
And we're not paying attention to it, man. So we just got it. And I hope that y'all form something together, or we can do something collectively, man. Yeah. You know, and especially I think that we need to have some type of mandate for guys that's put in position to work with our kids, man. We need to have some type of standards where, okay, not saying that what I done, but is it the right or wrong? It's no in between. You know what I mean? What are you doing? You teaching them drill. Anybody can go to the internet and grab a drill and teach them, but can you convey that information? Because you ain't never done it. How can you?
Right.
So, and that's the thing why we so many of the kids that do have it, you see it, and then you don't hear nothing about them no more.
Right.
Because they working on the outside. Nobody's tapping into the inside. They can't tap in because they ain't never done it. Right. And so I'm so glad you brought that up.
Let me just say this real quick, because this ties into what I'm saying. No man in their right mind would date a promiscuous woman. And sometimes a woman is promiscuous because that's what she's seen growing up. And like, sometimes we become a product of our family, naturally, just not by trying, just become a product of that family. But you'll let a guy that come from a bad situation coach your kid. You don't think that goes off on them too? You don't think that if your kid shoot an open shot and that your coach been through some bad stuff, what you shooting that shot for? You don't do it. And instead of pointing at him and say, hey man, good shot, come back and play defense. Because when you reprimand a kid, they respect adults. He gonna feel like he just got whooped. And he's not gonna shoot that open shot again, because he's gonna feel like he's getting taken out the game. And this is a development thing. And if you scold a kid for taking an open shot when he been practicing with his dad all day long, the message ain't lining up. So now your kid got to decipher, should I shoot this shot? My dad told me I could. My coach said I shouldn't. And the coach said he shouldn't because he don't come from a good situation where he encouraged people to make mistakes, to dribble off their leg. What Jordan used to shoot from?
You say who now?
Jordan Lyons. Half
Shoot
court.
from way deep.
Wow.
Half court. And I encouraged him.
Wow.
I never told him stop. Guess what? NCAA record right now for 3 points in the game.
Yeah.
But it's all about encouragement. It's all about, especially with developing kids. Developing kid is all about encouragement. You can't get mad at a kid for missing a layup. You should tell him, good job, you'll get it next time. I got faith in you.
But see, here's the thing, Jerome, and you're absolutely right, bro. You dead on target, bro. You hitting the bullseye, bro. The issue is the people, they don't understand. They don't understand what goes into this mentally in terms of fostering confidence. Because to me, it's I call it the 3 C's, right? So it's culture, it's confidence, and it's character. You see what I'm saying? And I just think that those people need to understand the importance of that, because what happens is a lot of times, a lot of our kids, they listening to the coaches. They depend on these coaches to give them the right information. And so they end up trusting them, and they thinking that's the right way. So let me ask you a question, Sean. How do you work with your son, right? Yeah. So what is your approach working with your son in today's climate when he leave you? Are you selecting the right coach for him? Are you making sure? Are you doing? I'm pretty sure you are, but I just want to get your feedback on that.
For me, like I said earlier, for me it's all about what I'm teaching him in the house, right?
Yeah.
As far as like building his confidence, you are special, you are a leader. Like every day, we're doing that. This morning, we're doing that. Cause now my son is 5, so when it comes time for him, as far as basketball goes, I have to put him with the right person. But for me, it's somebody that I know and that I trust, right? So I can make sure that the message is the same across the board. What I'm teaching you, you're gonna go and your coach is gonna teach you the same thing. Because I do think it's important for them to be able to take advice from someone other than me, right? But I don't want it to be, I'm telling you to take an open shot, he telling you not to take the open shot. Because kids get confused, just like Jerome said. And at some point, maybe the coach trump what I say, or that's what he thinks, and that could hurt the kid confidence.
For me, I ain't gonna let nobody touch my kid until they get to a certain age, because just like it's very important from the ages of 2 to 7, and they take in so much. I just don't want to mess with it. I don't want to mess with this. I don't want to mess with this. I don't want them to not understand that this is a good shot no matter if you miss it. It's a good shot. Did you make it? No. Right now, we had practice yesterday, and I teach them. I said, what's the number? I teach all my kids, what's the number 1 skill in basketball? Oh, they dribbling, shooting, passing. I'm like, nope, confidence.
Yes. And then you have to make them understand too, like taking a shot and how you communicate with them. Now, to me as a coach, if you don't have effective communication, it's tough, because basketball is life when you really take a look at it. I mean, y'all know this because you feed it from the things that you learned through the game. Character, discipline, being a good teammate. Because everywhere you go in your life, you got to be a part of a team. Marriage, corporation, whatever, you got to be a part of a team. So if you don't create that culture, one of the things that I created with all my teams, we had a motto: team first, me second. Woo, that's our motto. Team first, me second. And we lived that, and they bought into it. Man, I had these dudes, man, specifically, I told this story before. We would go on the road. This was Lou Will and all of them, Afluke and all of them. I did the same thing with all my teams. We would go on the road. I would specifically get hotels close to where trees was at. And I convinced them dudes that, hey man, when we had early morning games to get them wake up, because some of these, they couldn't wake up and play. So like Afluke, for example, I had to go make sure we had a gym so we get the treadmill. 5 o'clock in the morning, he on the treadmill. But we had them trees around. So what I used to do, I convinced them, I said, look man, if we go out here and walk between the trees and start sniffing the tree, we get that oxygen. And they started eating. Nigga run out, but they believed it.
Right.
Even though it was a placebo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They believed it.
Yeah.
But I'm in here.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I'm in there. The surface stuff didn't matter. I know if I can get in there. So that was part of getting the hook, getting them to believe in what I was doing. So what I'm saying, I said all of that to say this, man. We, and I say we all have a responsibility if we're gonna take this position to help our kids or be a part of our kids' lives, to do the best we can. But if we don't have the information, man, go get it. I'm not saying what Bo Bell do is perfect, but I got a plan. You know what I mean? I and it works. I got structure. We have structure, and just like with Sean and like with Jerome and Sean, they understand how this thing go. They played the game. They know the game. They seen the game. They seen all types of players come through. So if you don't have the right information, go get it. And be careful on the internet, because that's a blessing and a curse. Because you got a lot of people out there don't have a clue, but it looks like they know what they're doing. 100 million drills.
They don't know. That's what I always tell parents. My thing is like, I don't spend a lot of time talking to parents because they'll never listen.
They won't.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I have resume. I can go talk about all the kids I've helped to get in school, but you'd rather go listen to somebody else who hasn't done it.
Yes.
And like, I don't have a dog in a fight. I just want to help your kid get to school. And you only got one chance to do it, right?
Yes.
So I'm telling you what to do: 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. Now senior year, you think you can help my son get in school? No, I can't. I can't help your son get in school. And I'll be honest, no, I can't. It's really hard now when you just wasted the past 3-4 years. When I told you what to do, you do the opposite. But then when it doesn't work out, you want to come to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help the next guy that want to listen is bringing his son up.
Yes.
Because like, we got family. So me talking to you 30 minutes, an hour just for you to do something else, I can spend that time hanging out with my son and building him up and helping him.
Facts.
So that's the thing, information. You got to get the right information.
Yes.
And it's too much fugazi out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much noise. And you can't quiet it down enough to see. So look, I tell people this, even about basketball events, right? So people what they do is the biggest trick in the world, right? So the number one business in the world is salesmen. And a good salesman, no matter if they good at what they do, the business good at what they do, they know how to sell. And they can get you 1 or 2 times. The problem is, especially in today's time, we live in an era of phones, video, photographs, stuff like that. They can't not even produce 1 photo or 2 videos of their event being that great. And a coach would go and believe somebody that has 0 photos. Oh, this is the best event of all time. You should be here. We got exposure. And we live in where you can't even walk outside right now and not be video recorded, right? Where is that, player? Like, if I'm a coach, I'm like, what we got? Show me. Hey man, we had such and such here, and such was here. You didn't film it? You didn't record it? You don't got no picture? Now I get what Sean do. Sean, them coach be on that sideline. Snap.
All right.
Send it to you. I ain't lying.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. So, just for the parents, right? Just for the parent who watching this, man, listen. How do they help them pick real from Memorex? Like, what's real and what's not? How can, with all the social media, because that can be difficult sometimes, with everything coming at them, like you say, all the riff-raff, all these different voices. How do they choose not only the right tournaments, the right people to take advice from? Because everybody making it think that their advice is real. How do they, the internet, everything is right here. If they go deep enough, they'll find it.
The thing is, it's so many teams, right? It's a ton of teams. And they're going to all these different places. My thing is, like, you're with a coach who has never put anybody in school. I'm not trusting my child with somebody like that. You never put anybody in school. Where are the photos? Where are the videos? Where are y'all playing at?
That's the key.
Now, you trust this dude to put your son in school when he hasn't put anybody in school? Those be the same people that come back to me senior year.
You know what it sounds like? And you know what it sounds like to me? Sound like a girl that just believe in a guy no matter what. He done did all this stuff and he ain't proven it. One, oh, you still with him? Yeah, we still with him. I'm still with him. Like, what have he shown you? It's like that. No, I'm saying it's like a mind thing. Like, it's like a tricking of the mind to the point we got all this stuff. He can show you what he'd have done in his event. I can show you physically what I have done in my events. You can go Google it. You can look it up. If you go and play, I ain't calling no business out here because I don't want nobody on me. Right. But if you go look at some of these events, I want to see where the top players at. Right. I want to see somebody put somebody in school, like, what have it happened at? Show me a picture. If the coach said he done that, oh man, I coached such and such. What? You didn't take a picture of him when he was with you?
Right. That's, man, listen.
I mean, it's but you know, sometimes people, they have a hard time believing the truth. Right? Nobody want to believe the truth, right?
Right.
And like I say, for me, it's, some guys might not like me, but it's not because I've done them a certain way. It's because, well, you didn't give us the opportunity to play CP3 and Game of Lead and the Atlanta Celtics and the Florida Rebels. You're not as good as you think you are.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So it's like, you're mad at me because I'm being realistic with you. Right now, you know, maybe you think your best player can go to UGA. It's okay if he got to go to West Georgia. That's fine.
Right.
But these parents, they're listening. Your kid can go play in the ACC and the SEC. So now when them schools don't recruit them, or they get the North Georgias or the West Georgias of the world that are recruiting them, they won't even answer the phone. They won't even answer the phone.
They look down at it.
They look down at it, and then when it's the kid's senior year and you know, now those West Georgias and North Georgias, those D2 schools, they're like, you know what? We're going to move on to somebody else because they didn't answer our phone calls, right? And you go back to the coach. Well, I thought you said Georgia was recruiting us. What happened? So it's all about the advice that you seek, right? Like, you got to make sure it's this person has done it.
Right.
This person has done it, and they're going to be upfront and honest with me and my kid.
Well, let me say this, though, and then I'm going to speak, Jerome. But what you just said, Sean, see, when you sign up for your position that you're in, for your position that you're in, for your position, when you sign up for that, you got to be prepared to be a sacrificial lamb, period. Because what I always think about what they did to Jesus Christ. Not to take it that far. Well, who am I? Who are you? Who are you? So when you go to a level where it's like, and you're trying to do things how you think should be done the right way, right? You're gonna get, people are gonna stab you, they're gonna shoot at you, they're gonna attack your character, and you know what you're doing is for the right reason. You feel what I'm saying? You know what you're doing is for the right reason. And so, all I can say to parents, these two guys right here, and some people out here doing some stuff, I know, I've been watching them from afar. I've been knowing these guys forever. You know, from afar, watching them, and then participating in some of the events. But this year, because of this transfer, in the next few years, I gotta get my kids, because see, what I did, I'm starting from I started over. You know, I was with the Georgia Stars, Atlanta Celtics, ran through the country with my teams. No fluff, real stuff. So I say, well, let me get a different approach. Let me start from the bottom. I ain't recruiting. I don't do no recruiting. I develop. So I'm developing my guys up. Now the issue is when you develop them up, all these wolves come. Okay, shoe comes. Oh, I want to take this kid. So now they get caught in the hype, the parents. So they snatch some of my top kids. They go over there. Guess what? They go over there and then they start coming back when they see it ain't what it is. Right. So all I'm saying to you is what you guys doing, man. Stick to what you're doing. Stick to what you're doing and kind of build the fence. You already done it. I know I'm preaching to the choir. But, you know, I can see that you guys are making a difference, man. And I'm so proud of both of y'all, man. And I really appreciate y'all coming on the show, sharing this information, man. And if you don't mind, just tell the audience real quick, some of your events you got coming up and some of the things that you're doing in the community and that whole nine real quick.
Oh, yeah. You know, the Tip-Off Classic, obviously, April 5th through the 7th. One of the biggest events in the country. One of the best events in the country. Also, got Junior. We got a Tip-Off Junior we added this year, June 28th through the 30th. And also the Tip-Off Classic, the summer session, which will be July 5th through the 7th. I do want to say this, like Sean said it too. I got people that don't like me because I don't put them in the show. And the reason I don't put you in the show because it's gonna be a 20-point victory, and it's not gonna be a show no more. Now, but what I do is I give independents a chance to win an automatic bid to the show. If I come to Sean event, the opening, and you're really good, Sean to see me there. He see me walking around. If you're really good, I put you in the show from an independent standpoint. I think Team Smash did it last year. I came up there and watched them. They was really good. And I put them in the show. It was an independent team. So I want to give you an opportunity, but you got to be good enough. And I'm not just doing it just to do it, but I do it because I want it to be competitive and give you an opportunity in a competitive way, not a blowout way. And so you can also win, if you win the 17U division for the summer session, you get an automatic bid to the show.
Awesome.
So the independent team, 17U, come and win the April 5th 17U division, you get an automatic bid to the show and a free entry. So it's giving you something to play for, but at the same time, you have to win your conference to play in a team of 64.
I like that. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Sean?
You know, for us, well, first, follow us on Instagram. You go to Instagram, go to Twitter. You can see our schedule, see what we have going on. We don't only do stuff in Atlanta, but we do stuff in the surrounding states as well. And I think for us, just our platform giving kids an opportunity, right? Like going to Florida and going to North Carolina and seeing some of these independent teams. For me, I want to find a diamond in the rough.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Where's the next Ace Bailey, right? Or where's the next AJ White? You might not be a high-level guy, but you still are a college guy, right?
Got it.
For us, is I want to help you get in school.
That's awesome. Real quick, Sean, like 30 seconds. How did we meet each other and what you know about Bo Bell?
Well, I know about Bo Bell, man. Bo was a legend. That's what I know. I know, you know, every time they brought up a team, they kind of talked about Bo. And then I see Bo. I think I seen you, the first time seeing you was at a camp, and you were helping kids out in the camp. I think that's where I first met you at. And but it was always synonymous with legendary, like AAU time, you know what I mean? It was just Bo Bell. And I remember coming down and interviewing you as well. And I remember like you working on their footwork, getting kids in again, were very, very, very coordinated about footwork. And now I really understand why as I go through the process myself. But glad I met you.
Thank you.
And really, really, really look forward to what you got going on.
Appreciate it. Sean.
Yeah, for me, it's probably about the same. I think when I first came in, like 2008, 2009, that's when you were coaching, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, it's hard to get to those guys that's at the top, right? You know, like, because you didn't know who I was at that time. But obviously, you know, you were around great players. You done a great job. And then the more and more, you know, I talk to kids and their parents would say, you know, hey, you know, we've been training with Bo Bell. And I think you might have worked, like my best friend, I always talk about you too, Andre Morgan.
Yeah.
He coaches Cincinnati now,
Yeah, that's
right?
my guy. I trained him, yeah.
So he always talk about you, but I think you're doing a phenomenal job. Really, I like the podcast. I like what you're doing to get information out to the parents. Like, they need to listen.
That's love.
You got to listen. And you, like I said, you're a guy that has done it before, so they need to listen to everything that you're saying and take that information and run with it.
Absolutely. Hey man, you heard it from two of the best, right? Listen, and that's what it's all about, is sharing information, inspiring, and helping other people. Because when I never seen a Brinks truck riding behind a hearse. So I don't care how much money you got, how big your house is, when you're gonna be judged by the service and what you've done to help other people. And I think these two guys is a testament of helping kids and helping people get to the next level in their lives. And I'm so proud. And I thank y'all for coming on the show, man. This is big time, man.
One last thing,
yes.
I want to leave my social media handle. You know you want to use
Yep.
Yeah.
But you can follow us at Hoop Hustlers or at the Tip Out Classic, and that's on all platforms.
You follow me at On the Radar Hoops.
Y'all heard it first with two of the best in the business. Hey man, thank y'all for coming out. Yeah, it's big time. It's big time. It's big time, man. Thank y'all, man. That's good stuff.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
We out. We see y'all next time.
Peace.
Yo, that was dope.